Anybody that had trouble getting the pitch to change? Yeah? Go ahead. Try. No? That was good. That's it. Now, if you just take a little bit more mouth and sin, it'll give you room to move when you drop the corners of your mouth, and you end up your lip ends up sliding in a different place on the reed. But you want to take it a little more until you have that sound. So my lip actually rolled almost like a flute would, and flute does the same thing. Actually, that's how when you do that on a flute, we're actually just kind of rolling it, changing the size of the space. You try it? No? You try it? So why is this important? This is a little flexibility thing. That's all it is. It's a little flexibility thing. Because then when we put it back together, we get to the next exercise. I showed all this a little bit yesterday. So the thing that in Italian we call portamento, or pitch bend, basically. This is where we get it's a very nice picture.
Yes. It's a nice backdrop to your masterclass.
Yes. It looks like a vacation somewhere, doesn't it? What do you suppose that is? High atop a hill.
A cliff over the Suburban.
Looks northeast maybe? So this is, we start with, let's start on our throat tones. Let's start with our concert G on A, because it's the same on my horn as well as yours, so if you look at me, it doesn't look that weird. Very nice. Now, the same thing we did before with our pitch, we're going to go. Whole half step. And physically, just why is that? Physiology of it. When you drop your tongue, what happens? Well, airstream changes a little bit as well. But more importantly, when your tongue drops in your mouth, your oral cavity increases. And because it's larger, the horn is now longer, or the space is bigger, and the pitch goes down. Makes sense. Now, the only problem for me with that is that I don't know if I could, that's a good point. If someone told me to physically drop my tongue in them, I don't know if I would know how to do that. So let's make a sharp sound. Let's make an E sound. E. That's easier to think of than actually physically dropping my tongue. E. Good. Let's try to get a whole half step down. Now we take a big breath and go ooh so much that we go from here to here. Play your concert D, the lowest note of your horn. Try to change the pitch. Try to go from the E to a root at the tempo. That's pretty hard to notes that are much less flexible than others. But once we get above the, but anyways, it's still the idea of the physical movement going. You may notice that what happens when you're also, I didn't realize that. So the reason that my horn angle changes is because when you make that physical adjustment, you actually lose, by the looseness, you lose the focus. So you're actually adjusting the horn a little bit to kind of maintain a more consistent, that focus or not focus sound is basically the presence of overtones, right? That's really what it comes down to. So my exercise we talked about is basically going from, let's just go chromatically down, and we go from the A. Right? So half steps down, starting with D, starting from the our A. Your C. Excellent. And there's so many different musics that use that portamento besides New Orleans music as it relates to the vocal qualities of blues. Klezmer music, of course, and all the Eastern European traditions of clarinet playing. Now, there are certain things that they do with their setups to make that, to facilitate that. Dr. Phillips, Mr. Phillips, Dr. Phillips, Dr. Phillips explained that very well yesterday, is that they're the tip opening is wider and the reeds are a little bit softer, and that gives us that creates a lot more flexibility.
It's amazing. I don't know if you know, but I have one of his mouthpieces in my office. I need to try those other ones.
Oh yeah.
But it's so open that that was one of the things I was attracted to when I listened to his first recordings that I got. I was like, you know what? You could hold a gun to my head and I wouldn't be able to sound like this. I have no idea how this guy sounds like this. And then I tried running mouthpieces and I'm starting to kind of understand how he's able to have such variety in his tone.
All those guys, all those New Orleans players did, and that's what I went to. I went to I was studying classically in my last couple of years of college, and I was listening to those recordings of the New Orleans, and I was like, how do they do that? And my teacher just basically said, well, more open lay, and probably a softer reed. Sure enough, that's
what strength is that?
Well, these are 3.5s. But,
and that's the thing, is like that mouthpiece that I tried, I could play 3.5, and it feels like if I was playing like a 2.
You have to remember that it's not only the tip opening that we're concerned with, it's the length of the facing. And that relationship is important. So when someone says, how open is not, it really doesn't mean anything, because it's the length of the facing that's actually going to change how much the reed is able to vibrate. and these facings are just a little bit longer, so the reed has a little more room. It's not as it takes away some of the resistance of the open tip. All right, now the next thing, vibrato, because this is the same thing. So now we can start to experiment with these kind of sounds. vibrato, except we're just going to do it faster. So when we went, we speed that up. We use our metronomes, which is what I do, what I have my students do. We go, put our metronome on some nice slow quarter notes. We go. Right? We speed those up in quarter note triplets. Eight notes. Triplets. 16 notes. And pretty soon we have this. And we're doing the same thing, except it's more subtle. We're increasing and decreasing the pressure of the mouthpiece to make the pitch go a little bit sharper, a little bit flat. Different musics have different ways that they do vibrato. I don't know if it was a line and it was going to be over the pitch or under the pitch or over the pitch or under the pitch. I don't know actually how mine would be. Because my horn is set up sharp, I tend to think that it would be basically something that would look like sharp to the pitch, sharp to the pitch, sharp to the pitch, sharp to the pitch, not equally under, over, under, over, under, over. But that's what we're going to do. So you want to try some vibrato? Try to sing like an opera singer? Let's
You do it with your throat and like that stuff, not have
okay, this is a very good point. So in flute, we have a different type of vibrato, right? It's with the diaphragm, where we're actually changing it's more about changing airspeed and pitch, right? And when we sing with vibrato, we're actually changing amplitude or using the muscle, using our diaphragm muscle to change quickly change the speed of the air, just ever so slightly. So this is about type of vibrato where the pitch is actually changing as opposed to one where just the velocity is changing. All right? You want to try that? Let's do quarter notes doing our little exercise. What note do you guys want to do? The A, the throat A. There we go. Quarter notes. Now let's just cut to the chase and let's do 8 notes there. 1 and 2 and 3. Anybody using double embouchure? I'm just curious. Anybody? That's good. Double where their teeth are not resting on the mouthpiece. Yeah, not only does it hurt, but it actually makes vibrato very difficult because without the teeth on the mouthpiece to anchor it, we have this happening. And I've never seen anybody actually do that. So people always say, well, I read that the New Orleans players use double embouchure. I don't think it could possibly be true because I've never seen any of their horns move like that. Some of them did use something that was described in a couple of the interviews that I studied, where they described something where the teeth were resting on the mouthpiece, but the pressure or the mouthpiece was being held with the lips. But in order to do that, you have to elevate the horn quite a bit, so it looks the same as a regular embouchure. Yeah. But the lip tucked in, so that they were holding it. My teeth are just resting on the mouthpiece. I'm actually not anchoring it to the thing. So when we look at pictures of, do I have this?
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, sure.
So when I looked at pictures of Johnny Dodds, who was the one that I was kind of concerned, he was the one that got to play with, whoops, sorry. Wow, this is heavy.
Yeah, it's just an extra.
Oh, those extra keys. Well, I guess if that's that expensive, it should be a little bit